Okay, call this meeting of the Duncanville Board of Trustees to order. This meeting, let the record show that a quorum of board members is present and that the meeting is duly called, and the notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code Chapter 551. Good evening. Our mission at Duncanville is to engage, equip, and empower all scholars to achieve their unique potential. We will now go into opening ceremonies. Trustee Vera Cruz, would you lead us in a prayer, please?
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone. We're going to bow our heads for a moment of prayer. Heavenly Father, we come to you asking for your blessing over this meeting this hour. We pray for guidance in the matters at hand and ask that you would show us how to conduct our work with a spirit of joy and enthusiasm. Give us the desire to find ways to excel in our work. Help us to work together and encourage each other to excellence. We pray for a period of rest and reflection over our students, educators, leadership team, and the team of 8 during this Christmas season. We pray for a reset as we enter 2023 and fresh visions and dreams as you provide them to us all. We ask these things in his name. Amen.
Now, Carla, will you lead us in the pledge?
Would you please stand?
Now we'll move on to the superintendent's report. It's up to you, Dr. Smith.
All right, thank you, Mr. President and board members and those that are here this evening. I have 2 items that I would like to report on this evening. The first is to update the board on the school health support grant that we were so fortunate to receive. The district has been awarded the school health support grant from the Texas Education Agency in the amount of little over $453,000. The purpose of this grant is to support the safe in-person instruction in schools as we are still dealing with COVID, as well as just other health issues that we know are prevalent at this time of the year. And so we will be able to use this grant opportunity for cleaning supplies, for items that improve our air circulation, and a number of other resources, tools, materials that will help us, such as air purifiers and filters, hygiene and cleaning supplies I mentioned, just a number of different items that will help us get through a very challenging time coming up over the spring semester. So we're very excited about that. We had some key members on our leadership team that were instrumental in helping us secure this grant. Pam Brown, Nurse Grant, Joe Paterka, Marty Zamora. They had several meetings to discuss the grant and how we would use it. And again, they were real key individuals and very instrumental in helping us secure the grant. So we're really proud of that and what it's going to be able to do for us in the district for our students, in particular this upcoming semester as we return from the break. The next item that I have is, in case you, Well, I was about to say in case you hadn't heard, but it sounds like you have heard that our Duncanville Panther football team, they are UIL state champions, and we are so very proud of them. We've had a tough 3 years with North Shore, 2018, 2019, 2021, all 3 very close games, one a magical game that, you probably couldn't relive that in a million years. Nevertheless, this was our time, and it was just so great to, when you're when you're inside, like I'm so blessed and fortunate to be, you really get to see the hard work that goes into preparing for a really long season. You get to know the student athletes, and I'm telling you, they are some outstanding young men. We have some academic All-Americans on this team that made the Texas High School Academic All-American list. So they're really bright young students, but to see them, their will, their determination, their focus all year long, and the mindset to get to this game and to have such strong belief in their coaches and all those that were supporting them. It's just really great to see that. We want to thank the Duncanville, the city of Duncanville, all of our supporters. If you were able to see the game in person or whether you were watching on TV, it looked like just about everybody in Duncanville was in the stadium. And so it was, the kids feel that support. Want to also just congratulate Coach Samples. He is the winningest African-American coach in UIL history, and he continues to lead with excellence and represents all of us very, very well. And so we're excited about all that they were able to accomplish this year, and we're looking forward for the future. And we have a brief video that we'd like to play now just to capture Saturday night, the key moments.
I am so happy for Coach Samples, the team, the players. They put in such hard work, the community and all the supporters. I cannot tell you how good of a feeling it is to see him win this state championship. That's just one, and there are many, many more to come. We are the city of champions. We are Duncanville ISD, and we are Panther proud. Go Duncanville.
I mean, shoot, it means a lot. Like, it feels good. We're in the AT&T Stadium, like, and for me to come out here and be on the big stage and me win defensive MVP, it means a lot. This team, we don't fought, argued, all that, but that's what family do. And they get over them humps, they give it over them bumps, and they move on, and they be disciplined.
I don't even have words. Such an amazing experience for Duncanville, the city of champions, for Coach Samples, for all the players, for all of his coaches. This team is the hardest working team in Texas, and for them to finally be able to finish it and get a Texas state championship, like, I just can't believe it. I'm so excited for them.
Man, it feels amazing. Words can't explain how I feel right now. It took trust in my O-line, trust in my coaches, trust in the whole team, and we all stayed together and we won.
Man, it's an outstanding feeling for Duncanville High School to win a state championship. This is our 4th trip in the last 5 years, and it's such a huge accomplishment, not only for our community, for our school, but for our head coach, Coach Reginald Samples. He's one of the greatest coaches in Texas high school football history, and for him to finally get over the hump, for this group of kids to help him reach that coveted milestone, man, it's an unbelievable feeling.
Do you know what it means? I want another. That's what you're coming back then? Yes, and get another. I want to get another one, and I'd like to beat them 2 more times to tie it up. I'm still in a day, but I know one thing. It's going to be a great week, a great night, and I'm going to enjoy it.
Turn it back over to you, Mr. President.
I did get a chance to go up and visit with Coach Samples today, and we have got a gem as a coach. He's the best in the state, and I hope the board doesn't get mad at me, but I told him the board was really considering renewing his contract for next year. So, we're really proud of them and our kids. Okay, we'll move on to recognitions and commendations. Ms. Wallace.
All right, good evening. President McNeely, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Smith. We have donations that we'd like to recognize. All right, so tonight, we are really excited. Next slide, please. We are really excited about all of the outpouring of support that was received for our Panther Angel Tree, which is the same group of students that we use in order to supply students with coats from the annual coat drive that our board spearheads. So board, our students were elated to receive those coats. So thank you guys so much for being out there, raising the funds, the generosity of so many of our community individuals and businesses. It is greatly appreciated. Our students need and they deserve those things to make sure they can go into the holidays very warm. So thank you to our board for your contribution to, for your leadership in this area. Next slide, please. Also, we have 2 additional cash donations. One was for our Duncanville High School student council from the Carter Blood Care Center, and the other is from the Sacramento Youth Development Enrichment Programs, and that is for our high school football team. Next slide, please. And we also have several additional donations that we received this over the past couple of months, and so they are listed there. Many of them are in support of our Panther Angel Tree, and some had lots of non-perishable items that were donated out to the campuses or to the Panther Angel Tree, so we want to thank those different donors for their generosity. And that concludes donations. Are there any questions about any of the donations we received?
I don't have a question, just a comment. In the spirit of football, I'd like to recognize our quarterback, Trustee Phillips, for leading us with the coat drive. It is a team effort, and we do come together, but she definitely leads this and carries the bulk of the weight on her shoulders, and so I just wanted to take the time to recognize her. She doesn't need it, but we want to recognize you for spearheading this for our students.
Yes, absolutely. And if I can add, through her effort, there was almost $4,000 raised for coats, so that is significant, that's huge, so thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, and thank you all for the support. But what I want to say is thank you to you, Ms. Wallace, and your team, because the warehouse, everyone came together. The entire Duncanville ISD family came together and made this happen for our students. So thank you for leading that, because we needed help sorting and we needed help with storage. Dr. Smith, thank you for everything you did so we could have, the space. So thank you all. We appreciate everything. It's just, it takes a village. And,
Absolutely.
And it comes together at the end of the day.
We were honored to support.
Thank you so much.
All right. And I guess may I move forward with the next item? Okay. So President McNeely, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Smith, it is time for Made with Pride in Duncanville. Made with Pride in Duncanville is an opportunity for us to recognize a student, a teacher, and a staff member for the impact they have on members of the Duncanville ISD community. And our first honoree this evening is a student, a 5th grade student, Tiana Paz Gonzalez. She was nominated by her PE teacher, Mr. Jones. Is Tiana, where's Tiana? Come on up. Let us recognize you. So Tiana, I'm going to present you with this certificate, so you can have this to remember this moment by. But I'd like to share with everyone a little bit about you. Is that all right? Yeah. Okay, I was going to do it anyways. All right. Tiana is a 5th grade student at Daniel Intermediate School, and according to her teacher, she's considered a leader for her class, for her entire student body. Her teacher says that she is one of the most kind individuals ever, and on the first day of school, this is how generous and kind she is. She noticed that a student was a new student, on the student's first day of school. this new student was there, and she wanted to make sure that that student had a buddy, and she went up, introduced herself, and I think, did you even eat lunch with the student, possibly? You didn't eat lunch with them, but you just went up and chatted with them and hung out with them? All right, so that is kind and generous and very bold, and we appreciate you for doing that. So, Board of Trustees, I'd like to introduce you guys to Tiana Paz Gonzalez. Let's give her a round of applause. Turn around and face your parents. Turn around and face. All right, and if Tiana's family is here, if you guys will raise your ways, yeah, so we can recognize you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, you may be seated. And next, we would like to honor Professor Jessica Edwards Kawamoto, who was nominated by a student, Zoe Smith. Is Professor Kawamoto here? Come on down. Here is a certificate so that you can remember this occasion. Step on up. I'd like to share a little bit about you. Professor Kawamoto is an English teacher at Duncanville High School, and according to her student, she is fantastic. She says that she takes her time to really listen to her students, and she works with her students so that they can have a very successful school year. This student went on to provide us with a quote. She shared with us that she stayed after school one day, and y'all talked, and you listened to her. You understood the difficulty that she was having in trying to do her work outside of the classroom, and you made sure that you could find a way to help her. And so Zoe wants you to know that she really appreciates you. She thanks you for the time that you have poured into her, and she wants you to know that it has empowered her to do her schoolwork. So thank you. Where is Zoe? Stand up. Oh, that's our welding student. Zoe's in everything. Thank you, Zoe, for recognizing her. And do you have family members here with you? All right. Where?
And my husband.
Okay, stand and wave so we can see you guys.
Mr. Kawamoto.
All right. Thank you all for being here. Board, I'd like to introduce you to Professor Kawamoto. Thank you. If you'll turn around. All right, thank you very much. And last but certainly not least, moving into commendations and recognitions, I would like to invite Mr. Brian Duncan. He is an entrepreneur teacher at Duncanville High School. If you will please join me here at the podium. Mr. Duncan has found a way to make doing homework enjoyable. And the question is, does everybody like money? Absolutely. Well, using an assignment he got when he was in college, he used it as an inspiration to challenge his students, and several of them, this was back in January of 22?
21.
January of 21. These students now have full-fledged businesses, like real businesses. And in fact, you can see their marketing displays over here to my left. And so at this time, I'd like for you to briefly share with the board a little bit about that project and the two students that you have.
Okay.
You can invite them up.
Okay. Just briefly, it started off as a homework project that I got in grad school, and I was supposed to research Google. Found out that Google started off as a homework project, and now we use it all the time. So my thought was, why can't my students do that? Why not challenge them to start their own business, and who know what their business will grow into? So that's how it was started. I like to invite my students to come up and introduce themselves and their companies. So please introduce yourselves and tell them a little bit about your business.
All right, good evening. My name is Aiden Cortez, and I am the founder and CEO of Sugary Nation. Now, what exactly is Sugary Nation, and what's our goal? Our goal is to make people feel happy. Like, I don't care about the money. I just want people to be happy about just getting this product. And I love my customers, and so we have a variety of treats and sweets. And so first off, we have our chili-coated gummies and chili-coated gummies, as well as our churro cheesecakes, and then our fantastic chocolatey strawberries. And so our goal is just to provide the world a better place. You know, we just want people to be happy, and that's all I really care about as part of the business. Thank you.
My name is Aaliyah Carter. I am the CEO of Earth's Auras. I started it as a contribute to my deceased brother in January of 2021. My goal was always to empower younger Black women and minorities and also people of different backgrounds to be themselves and encourage them and to remind them that they are important and that you can express yourself in the media in different ways through jewelry or art and things of that nature.
Good afternoon. My name is Free Dior. I am one of the newest entrepreneurs at the table. I started my business this year, and my goal is for people, a variety, both females and males, and babies and adults, to be able to be comfortable and stylish. I have on my female brand. My clothing brand is called Free Co. You can see the front and the back says, "Embrace your uniqueness." My business is all about embracing your uniqueness because everybody's different. It's about taking in what you believe you are special with and embracing it. Thank you.
Thank you to our young entrepreneurs, and thank you, Mr. Duncan, for that challenge and for helping them see it all the way through. But before we close out this segment, we want to make sure that we see our Made with Pride video.
Duncanville ISD congratulates the following student, staff member, and teacher who are made with pride in Duncanville.
Hi, I'm Professor Jess Edwards Kawamoto. I teach English 2 honors and dual credit English at Duncanville High School. So I get to teach the high school kids and be a college professor. I want our students to have all of the skills and the resources that they need to be competitive in the academic world, and giving them the opportunity to have things and learn things that I did not. The kids are great. And building relationships, I think they learn more. I think that they're more likely to ask for help, and it's less likely to be a discipline problem when you can meet their basic needs and just listen sometimes.
Hi, my name is Tiana Paz, and I'm a fifth grader, and I'm in Daniel Intermediate. To be a good student, I think you have to work hard, listen to your teacher, and have a positive attitude. And like makes me every time that I get a good grades on my work, I get happy because I can tell that I'm trying my best, and I try to help everyone because I know how it feels. Because when I was little, a lot of people used to help me a lot, like what does it stuff means. So then I felt the same way to be helping other people.
Hello, I am Phyllis Davis Polk. I am a pre-K4 teacher aide here at Smith Elementary. I have been a part of Duncanville ISD for 19 years. I love to be a part of pre-K because that's the foundation for all of education to me. And it's always just so enlightening. You know, so many things happen and occur, but I know that it's going to be a fun day, a good day, that it's a learning day because I love education. I believe it's the key to our future. My heart is at this school, and I just love and am grateful, humbly grateful to be a part of these students, these scholars, of their life.
These honorees truly are made with pride in Duncanville.
Okay, we're back from closed session. We can take action on items discussed in closed session. Do I have a motion that you?
President McNeely, I move to approve the superintendent's contract as negotiated and presented in closed session.
Motion been made and seconded. Any questions? Comments? All in favor? Motion carries. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the mid-contract termination of Mr. Carlos Whitfield for good cause based on violations and failure to follow district policies, procedures in accordance with the Texas Education Code 21-211 and Board Policy DFBA legal?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Motion carries. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the appointment of the Director of Communications and Marketing as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Motion's carried. Okay. Ms. Brown, would you like to introduce our newest team member?
Absolutely. Mr. Jeff King, will you join me at the podium? I'm not King, oh my gosh, Jeff Smith, I apologize. Okay. We are excited to welcome Mr. Jeff Smith as our new Director of Communications and Marketing. Mr. Smith has been in the communications field for 10 years with expertise in many areas, including media relations and digital media. As a successful NCAA college athlete, he received his bachelor's in fitness management and master's in athletic administration from Tarleton State University. Mr. Smith served as an assistant director of strategic communications at Penn State University, where he promoted over 800 student athletes across 31 varsity sports, including maintaining and producing online team media guides, news releases, and feature stories. He continued his career as the assistant director of communications for the University of Arkansas. Here, he was the primary creator for 3 NCAA championship runs in 2019 for the track and field program. After the success he found in communications at the collegiate level, Mr. Smith decided to bring his skill set to K-12 public education, where he has found his passion. He currently serves as the digital media coordinator in Carrollton Farmers Branch ISD. We are pleased to welcome Mr. Smith to the Duncanville ISD family and are excited about the value he will bring to our team. Mr. Jeff Smith.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard. Okay. We'll move on now to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to amend the consent agenda?
So moved. Oh, was I supposed to make the motion?
Yeah, tell me which ones.
I did this thing. I make a motion that we move A and B from the action agenda to the consent agenda.
Motion's been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and second to amend the consent agenda. All in favor? Motion carries. Now we will consider the consent agenda. Are there any questions on the consent agenda? Any comments? All in favor of consent agenda, raise your right hand. Motion carries. And we'll move on to, if I can keep up, we'll move on to the consider approval of action agenda items. We'll move to item C, consider the approval of continued employment incentive for staff. Kathleen, please.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. President, Board of Trustees, Dr. Smith. The district has felt the impact of staff shortages in every area. There are vacancies that, despite our best efforts, have remained unfilled. Even with these shortages, Duncanville ISD staff members have continued to rise to the occasion and meet the needs of students every single day. For this reason, we would like to provide an incentive to specific staff members for going above and beyond and being an essential part of the Duncanville ISD family. The staff members who would be eligible for this incentive are those who fall in specific categories. Our auxiliary pay grades like bus drivers, bus attendants, our food service assistants, custodians, and our security officers. It would also include our administrative support staff, which are our clerical positions, and our instructional support, which are our paraprofessionals. The incentive in the amount approved by the Board of Trustees would be provided using funds from current vacant positions that are already a part of the 2022-2023 budget. The administration recommends the board approve the incentive for specified staff who were employed in their positions by October 1st, 2022, and will remain employed in the district through the date of the incentive continuous employment payment. Okay, I'd be happy to answer any questions you all have at this time.
Thank you for the presentation, and I would just like to see more. We appreciate what you've done, what you and your team and Dr. Smith have done for our auxiliary and our staff that, but I would really like to see what we could do to bring more money to that group of employees.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Howard?
I just want to say I appreciate the consideration and the plan being brought to the board to just show an additional time of the year to our staff that that work really hard and could use an additional pay because of just how we have their pay calendars structured. And so I'm really proud to be a part of a group, Dr. Smith and his team just bringing it, and the board who was more than willing to approve that and want to see how we can support that group of employees even more.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Smith?
Thank you for your feedback. To all of our trustees, your feedback is critically important. We hear you. We're going to be following up and doing some research, bringing back to you options and other potential opportunities throughout the course of the spring semester when we get back after the winter break of how we can address the compensation piece from an incentive standpoint for this particular group of employees. So thank you for the feedback. We hear you, and we will be responsive.
Absolutely.
Any other comments?
I'd like to make a motion.
Get after it.
Mr. President, I move that the board approves the incentive for specified staff members in the amount of $1,000 to those who are employed in the district by October 1, 2022, and will remain employed by the district through the date of the incentive payment.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Motion carries. Okay, now we'll move on to information and discussion items. The first item is updated education leadership development and partnership with UNTD. Dr. Nix.
Good evening, Board President, members of the board, Dr. Smith. Since the inception of our partnership with the University of North Texas at Dallas, we have committed to keep the board updated on the progress of the program and of the progress of our students. So after a full year of completed coursework, if you guys can remember, as a board, we provided you with an update mid-year. And so now after our students have completed a full year of coursework, we are here, and it's my pleasure to give you an update on their progress. If I could have the next slide, please. Board, your foresight in approving this partnership has put us in position as a district to make significant strides towards our goals. As you can see here, for the district, we had a goal of building a sustainable leadership pipeline. Leadership matters, it's important, and so there's no better way than to grow your own. To have a positive impact on recruitment and retention, it's very difficult to get good leaders here. Graduates finish with an insight into the Duncanville leadership model. These individuals are going through this process, and it's tailored to Duncanville. So they understand the PAC, they understand the things that are important to Duncanville, and how leadership is supposed to look in Duncanville. It's our purpose and our goal for our staff to earn a master's degree in educational leadership, earn a principal certification, build a professional network, earn knowledge and skills to obtain and sustain a leadership role here in the district, and of course, make it convenient for them to attend classes. That means to attend classes here in Duncanville as well as at the college. And of course, to retain quality leadership candidates. Next slide, please. As this presentation is intended to give you an update, Board, we just want to remind you of some of the commitments that we made as a district. The first commitment was that we would start a cohort beginning the spring of 2022. We've done that. Select staff members signed an agreement committing to a minimum of 2 years of service after the program's completion. And we're excited that we'll have sustainable leadership here in the district. The third commitment we made is we commit as a district to pay 50% tuition. And I'm sure that they appreciate that sentiment, and we have already supported them in those reimbursements. The fourth commitment is that we determine program effectiveness. Dr. Goodman and I look at every transcript. We meet with the professors. We track the program. We check their attendance. We check how they are doing in the class, and it's going very well. And we are thinking through and processing through even now what it's going to look like to get the numbers up and to move forward with the second cohort. The last commitment is that, and that's what we're doing now, is that we'll provide the school board with regular updates on the progress of the program and of our students. If I can have the next slide, please. This slide outlines the courses that I keep saying our students, they're grown people, right? They are grown adults, but we're saying students because, boy, and I just want to say this, and I'll get here in a minute, they have overcome so much as students who are employees and grown and doing all the things that they are doing. So I'm going to try to refer to them as cohorts instead of students, but our cohort of professional adults, the classes that you see here in gray are classes that they have already completed. They've been successful with, they've already gone through the process, and the classes that are in black are the courses that they have remaining. Just to make sure that we are understanding the scope of this, January the 9th is when we get back, and they will be taking a practice exam on the day we get back, right? And they have to score a certain score on this practice exam in order to be eligible for the exam on February the 3rd. This is the exam to certify them as administrators. Once they take both of their exams, their certification exams, and complete their coursework, they will be fully certified to be hired as administrators here in the district. So we're excited for them and looking forward to them studying over the break so that they can do well on that exam. Next slide, please. Taking a look at the financial impact, this board originally agreed to pay 50% of the tuition as an estimated cost to the district of $10,000 per student. We began the program with 7 students, which is an estimate of $35,000. To date, we have 6 students remaining in the program after 12 months, and we've invested a total of $18,287 in the current cohort in the form of reimbursements. Our estimated remainder payments for 6 students is 13,571 students. And as you can see, Our funding source there is the ESSER 3 funds. Next slide, please. Board, on this slide, you'll see that we have student 1, student 2, student 3 listed. And the reason that we don't have names there is because we had one student that was not able to continue in the program for personal reasons. And the last thing that we would want to do is put names up and have their personal information out there. But Dr. Goodman and I, when talking to professors and when reviewing the program and going through all the process that we do to check program validity and see if we want to move forward, one of the things that was most important to us was not just the opportunity for the students, but how the students represented Duncanville. We were told by the professors, and we had to double check and make sure, you tell everybody this, we were told that the Duncanville cohort was the cohort of excellence for the university. We asked for particular feedback for particular students, and this is what we got, that they're focused and engaged. These are promising administrators. They're going to add immediate value. They're deep thinkers and they do quality work. They're problem solvers and they're natural leaders. They're professional and they're ready to lead. I mean, that's some good feedback coming from the university. The next transcript review will be on January the 13th. All of our cohort members exceed the behavior standards, attendance standards. We have committed to reimbursing, and we have done that. And here's the thing of most pride. Every last one of these individuals have maintained a 4.0 perfect GPA. What's not on the slide here, but what's important that we make sure that we communicate is these individuals represent every level of our school district, from elementary to intermediate to middle school to high school. And they're a very diverse group of individuals. Board, this was not in my presentation, but in meeting with, in talking to, in understanding their stories, in understanding their struggles and everything that they've had to go through, boy, they're here with us tonight, and for a moment of personal privilege, if it's okay, I'd like to have them stand so that we could recognize them and their contribution. So if the members of cohort 1 would please stand so we can be so you can be recognized. Board, yes, sir. Have them come up? Yes, sir. Would you guys come up, please? I'd like to introduce them by name, Board, if you don't mind. And so we have the mother of the group that keeps everybody together and on track and doing what they need to do. We have Ms. Bannister. Ms. Bannister is a teacher at Byrd. If you'd step forward, please, Ms. Bannister. Thank you. If you have a step up here, please. If you can remember, well, we had a Teacher of the Year. Face the board, please. We had a Teacher of the Year here recently who said, I want to do it. I want to challenge myself and be there. And we have Miss Jessica Ford, who is currently a teacher specialist at Acton Elementary, who's here with us today. We have Mr. William Grounds, representing Duncanville High School, here with us today. Come on up, please. Newly married, Mr. Ernest Quintillia is here. Where are you, Ernest? Come on up. If you. Last but definitely not least, and Ernest is at Kennemer Middle School. And we have Miss Amanda Rodriguez here from representing Hardin Intermediate. Amanda, if you join us up. Now, board, once again, I briefly mentioned the sacrifice. I know a lot of their stories. I know their sacrifice. And just a second ago, I don't know if you saw this, but when we were just acknowledging them, I don't know if you saw this, but some of them were fighting back tears. Yeah, because it's hard. And leadership is hard. And life is hard. But they commit to do it. They commit to Duncanville, and they show up every class, every day to represent us with excellence, and we are so proud of them, and we are so thankful for your investment in them, board. We appreciate you.
Well, as an administrator, I want to tell all of you to cheer up. It gets harder.
Go that way. Yeah.
It gets harder.
Thank you, guys. Now, we know you can't do this journey alone, so several of our cohort student employees have families here that are supporting them, not just here at the board meeting, but in life, and we all know we can't do this thing alone. So if we have any family members of our cohort members, would you please stand and be recognized at this time? All right. Next slide, please. On the screen board, you'll see a presentation schedule for the fall 2023 cohort 2 start time. Dr. Goodman and I are already in talks with the university as we're planning for what the next cohort could look like and a timeline for that. This is a draft timeline. And we're also working through how to get our numbers up to where we want them to be. We want so many students representing us and getting their leadership certifications that we have to turn away. And so this is the timeline that we're looking for, board, February, and launching the cohort advertising campaign, partnering with the communications department, looking at having informational sessions in March, moving forward in May through June with the interview process, and then looking to start a fall cohort at the beginning of next school year. Next slide, please. Well, this is the last slide of my presentation, and it would be my pleasure to answer any questions that you may have at this time. Yes, sir, that's where we're headed. Mm-hmm.
Good. Questions?
Thank you.
Dr. Jackie, do you have what? Wait a minute, Dr. Nick.
Thank
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
Dr. Nick.
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful job. All the students, I mean, it's amazing to work and do that and still make A's. Y'all are over the top. So I have a question regarding the seventh person. What was the impediment to them continuing in the program?
Trustee Colton, that was a personal decision from that individual that they made the decision to no longer move forward because of some personal things going on with them. Had nothing to do with the district or anything of that nature. It's just sometimes in these situations, there are some things that are difficult to overcome, and they have to make some personal and family decisions for themselves. And I believe that this was the case for this particular individual. And we can talk to you in more detail later if you would like about the specifics of that. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I was just trying to determine if it was related to finances. Or...
No, ma'am, not related to finance.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely, yes.
Any other questions? Thank you, Dr. Nick.
Thank you.
Now we'll move on to communication from citizens. Seeing as there are none. Huh? Yeah. We're adjourned.